there, how are you? I hope you're doing well and that you're having an awesome day today. This is kind of a different video for me because I've just had a lot of things that I've been loving recently, and I thought, why not do a favorites video? So it kind of goes beyond the makeup. I am including a little bit of makeup since that's what I typically base my channel around, but I also wanted to share some of my lifestyle kind of favorites, things that I've really been gravitating towards lately. So if you are also interested in kind of shaking up your routine, I'm going to talk about YouTube channels I've been loving, the way I'm drinking my coffees, some makeup bags, some purse tips and whatnot. So if you like that sort of thing, go on and continue watching. I wanted to share this because I actually get a lot of comments on this, and I totally forgot to do it in my what's in my bag. I recently did one for my Consuelo tote, so I'll go on and link it up here in the card above and in the description box below. But that is to carry an extra folder in your bag. And the reason I say that is because if you're in school, or if you're a mom, or you're going back and forth to work and you're constantly being handed documents because not everything is digitized, it's really nice to just carry a classic braided folder to keep those papers nice and crisp and clean. And I wanted to share these because how cute are these prints? I actually found them at Walmart, and they kind of remind me of Kate Spade. I found them for like less than $3 a pop. The brand is called Class Act, the Go Wild collection. And this one attracted my attention because all summer I was really into like an aqua theme, and one of the Consuelo totes that I've been carrying has a lot of purple and teal, and so I thought this was just super fun. Right now I'm carrying my Neverfull in the Damier Ebene print that has a red interior, so I thought the leopard and the pink and the red would just be a fun pop of color, but at the same time still kind of be matchy-matchy with the bag. These are absolutely great because how many times do you get handed forms when you're taking your kids into school, whether it's permission slips or physical forms, or right now I'm in tax classes for myself, so it's nice, like this is the one I carry all my tax stuff in, and I just throw it in my tote and go to class, or being handed things for work, or being handed things for, you know, going to meetings and whatnot. It is really, really handy to have something that is light, easy on the go, but again, a way to just keep those documents looking nice and crisp and not mangled and jumbled and shoved at the bottom of your purse. So I wanted to share that tip with you. It's not just like a mom bag tip. It's something that I've done for a very long time, but I tend not to have to do that in the middle of the summer, you know what I mean? Because we're not necessarily reaching for all those documents, but now that we're high time into school, that is a tip that I wanted to share with you that I constantly reach for. Another tip that I have for my purse is a makeup bag that I've actually fallen in love with. And I fell in love with it so much, I bought two of them. So I saw this at Target. The brand is called Ruby and Cash. And how cute is this makeup bag? It is just so sweet and fun. And I really just, in my project panning journey, I wanted to kind of change up the storage and just really motivate myself to reach for more lip products. And so I picked up one of these bags. I've shoved all my lip products in here, and I kind of use this to reach for on a regular basis to just change up my lip game and keep myself motivated and inspired. And when I went back through Target a couple of weeks ago, I found a second one. You can still find them. They tend to be, I know at my Target, they're like in the front of the store with all the like college kind of things, but I picked up a second one to keep in my purse because again, kind of fun to have the leopard and pink and red folder, then with this lip makeup bag along with the interior of my Damier Ebene with the red. And then I've got a cute, fun little micro wallet from Amazon that's in a lavender purple. They just look so chic together. So I wanted to share that tip with you as well. And these retail for like $5. I want to say it was like $5 or $6. Great, great investment. And the zipper is really smooth on them. They do hold a lot of stuff. And I mean, they're just cute. Cute. All right, this next one, oh my gosh. I can't remember specifically who recommended these to me. She works for an optometrist, but girl, you are my hero. My hero. And I cannot recommend these enough. It is the Refresh Optiv Mega 3 Lubricant Eye Drops. If you have chronically dry eyes like I do, I'm at the point where I'm definitely a candidate for Restasis or some other prescription eye drops, but my insurance refuses to help me pay for them. And so that kind of expenditure on the monthly budget is really, really just not what I want to do. But these eye drops have been absolutely game-changing. You can pick them up at your local grocery store, your local Target, Walmart, whatnot. And like I said, Girl, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They do have some flaxseed oil in them, but they are so comfortable and moisturizing. You get a 30-day supply per package, and one of the cool things about them is the applicator is kind of like the Restasis packaging. It just takes you one dropper per day, and I just go between both my eyes. And I wanted to share this other tip, that something that I really like to do. I store my eye drops in the refrigerator because it just gives that extra comforting, cooling sensation. I apply them in the morning before I do my makeup, like when I first wake up, because my eyes are very chronically dry. And then I go on and reapply them if I need to during the day on particularly hot days, and then once again before I go to bed. And these are just, they're fabulous. I have not liked a brand of eye drops as well as I like these, and actually these are even more comfortable than the trial of Restasis that I had, because I know the Restasis kind of burned and stung, and it was fine, like it did its job, but at the same time I was like, these are definitely far more comfortable, they're definitely more affordable and easy to pick up. So seriously, definitely go check those out if you have very chronically dry eyes. And at first kind of the oil aspect scared me a little bit, but it doesn't feel super heavy, because I know the other thing, like if you have like the thick gels that you have to apply into like your waterline and whatnot, those are so thick and goopy, and they're great like for bedtime, but if you're having to do that during the day, it can kind of obstruct your vision for a while, and then definitely it messes with makeup and whatnot. These are not as thick, but you still get that same cozy, comforting feeling of having moisture around your eyes, where you're not feeling like that dry, stinging, like stabbing pain. You know what I mean? So definitely worth it. I have fallen in love with the Sunbelt Bakery chewy granola bars, specifically in the key lime pie. These are so good. And at first when I saw them at Target, I was like, oh, it's kind of weird, I don't know. But these taste like actual dessert. You know, back when I was in college, I studied abroad, and there was a Spanish yogurt brand that I fell in love with that it was like a vanilla yogurt, and it had granola in it. No, maybe it was like actual pie crust, but it tasted like key lime pie. And so I wanted to share this tip with you. If you want a dessert that's on the healthier side, get you one of these Sunbelt key lime granola bars, and then the Oui by Yoplait French style yogurt in the flavor vanilla. These two together and tossed in a couple blueberries is dessert. It is delightful. So, you know, it saves you the calories of necessarily having ice cream. You get something that's slightly healthier. There's still quite a bit of sugar between these two things, but these reminded me so much of that yogurt that I loved back in college. Then kind of on the food note, I know you're probably sick and tired of hearing this, like ever since the whole pumpkin cream cold brew like hit the market, we've all been bananas for it, and I'm on that train too, I will admit it. That being said, I wanted to share one of my favorite YouTubers. Her name is Leisha. Her channel is Xsparkage. I'm going to go on and link her in the description box below, and I'll put a blurb up here. But she has made a copycat recipe to that Starbucks pumpkin cream cold brew. So I went on and bought one this morning, and then I also wanted to show you, I followed her recipe and made some of the pumpkin cream mix at home. It is super easy. All you need is a can of pumpkin pie filling and then some heavy whipping cream. And if you want to add a little bit of extra sweetener, you can. You can make this delightful drink at home and then adjust your pumpkin flavoring to your heart's desire for a fraction of the price. So I wanted to share that with you. I'll link you directly to her video. If you want a specific recipe, I just kind of eyeballed it and mixed it with a hand mixer, and it is wonderful. It keeps for about a week in your fridge. And one of the other tips I wanted to share with you, I make my cold brew like once a week, but it is kind of labor intensive because you do have to go on and fill up your container overnight. It takes up a lot of space in the fridge, and then you have to strain your grounds the next day if you're making cold brew. So if you don't have that kind of time, or maybe you're new to the coffee world and you're wanting to try something, if you want the convenience factor, I would suggest picking up the Starbucks cold brew in the refrigerator aisle of your grocery store. It's kind of spendy for what it is because it's about $4.50 roughly, give or take, at my local Kroger for 32 ounces, which is kind of like, I don't know, like the iced coffee bottles. Like literally they kind of look the same thing. It's not quite the same taste, but you get less product in here and it costs the same amount of money. So it's kind of like, what? But if you're not into coffee, or you're kind of starting your coffee journey, cold brew is kind of the way to go, because it is a smoother blend. It's definitely sweeter, because there's something about heating the coffee grounds that it just makes them more bitter in the process, and that's one of the things that can kind of turn somebody off that doesn't like coffee. So I do recommend this if you're wanting just quick convenience factor, because I mean, you can easily pour in 8 ounces of this into a glass. Typically you like to, you want to dilute a cold brew solution because it is kind of strong, but this you can just pour straight in and then put a little bit of your pumpkin cream on the top of it, and you have your Starbucks drink, like I said, for a fraction of the price. So everybody was talking about this particular makeup bag that you can find on Amazon, and it is fantastic. It retails for like $25, so go on and check the link. I'll put it directly in my description box below. And this is a key fob that I picked up, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, but it is still available on Amazon. This is absolutely fantastic because it feels like fancy, bougie, and I dare say, like, the canvas feels very similar to the real deal. It just is missing the Louis Vuitton stamped into the canvas. But one of the things that I really love about this makeup bag is it's generous in size. You can easily open it up and see absolutely everything in there. It's not the proverbial black hole. It's very easy to see into the bottom of this. You can carry this particular bag as a clutch because they give you pockets on the sides that, of course, you could fit your phone and things into. They're deep enough that I use them for pencils and lip products. In fact, I'll do a detailed what's in my bag video coming up in the next day or two, so be on the lookout for that. And then there's also a generous zip pocket on this side. I use this to keep mascaras in, but I mean, you could easily fit a compact wallet in there or whatnot. So I really have been enjoying this, and like I said, for the price, it's like $25-$30. This is a really fun way to, just feel a little bit fancy. It looks pretty on the vanity, and I do travel a lot out of town, and this is smushy enough that it's very pliable in my bag. It keeps my makeup protected. I'm not worried about it. If things spill, it's easily wiped down because you can just take a damp cloth on the outside of the canvas, and I wipe down the inside with a product called Tough Stuff. I get it at Walmart. I use it to clean a lot of my handbags. But this has been really fantastic. And like I said, it's, it's just kind of fun to walk in my bathroom and see that. And I've already been asked by people, it's like, did you really buy a Louis Vuitton cosmetic bag? And I'm like, no. So save the money, go to Amazon. Really fun find. And they would make great gifts if you're just wanting something fun to give to somebody in your life who enjoys their makeup and toiletries on the go as well. So the next thing I want to talk about, I know we're not quite, like, we're going into the fall, things are changing, but I really just wanted to plug this because I have been into like watermelon scents all summer long. I'm a huge watermelon fan, and when I saw these at my local grocery store, I was like, I had to have it because it smells so good. It is the Mrs. Meyer's Clean Day Watermelon Scent Foaming Hand Soap. I wish that I would have found like the cleaning spray or like dish soap, but this is absolutely delightful. If you find these, if you're in Texas, they have them at H-E-B. I have seen them occasionally at certain Walmarts, like Walmart Supercenters. I haven't always found them at Target. But if you find the watermelon scent, it is so good. It doesn't smell like synthetic candy watermelons. It smells like in the garden watermelons. Like, you kind of get that viney, like herbally, but still smells like watermelon kind of vibe to it. Oh, it just smells so good. Like, it reminds me of like growing up as a kid and going to my grandparents' house because they would always let a watermelon kind of ripen in their bathroom. I know this sounds so weird, but like with the humidity and then the sunlight and whatnot, you know what I mean? So it reminds me of those days of just having that like fresh watermelon scent to just enjoy. And then, it's still hot as heck here in Texas. And so I'm not quite ready to just completely embrace fall yet because it just feels weirdly inappropriate since it's so hot. So if you can still get your hands on these, they're great. Like when I first found this scent, I went on and stockpiled and bought like 2 or 3, and then I went back and I bought a couple more. So we've been easily like going through the hand soap with the watermelon scent, but this just smells absolutely incredible. So definitely, if you are a watermelon fan like I am, because I know there's a whole bandwagon for that, kind of like there is with the pumpkin cream cold brew, there's a bandwagon for us watermelon fans. You got to check that out. This product has been absolutely wonderful. It is the Garnier Skin Active, the Gentle Sulfate-Free Cleanser. As you can see, I've loved it so much. I'm down at the bottom of this bottle and I've gone on and repurchased this. I love the fact that this cleanser is just so easy to use. There's nothing in it. Like there's no sulfates, there's no silicones, there's no oils, there's no fragrance, there's no alcohol. It is just so lovely on the skin. It doesn't feel tight when you get out of the shower. It does a pretty decent job of taking off makeup. I still go in with a cleansing balm before I get in the shower to just make sure all of my makeup is gone. But this has been lovely, and especially I have had my nose pierced for the past couple of months. I have not had to worry about this face wash being overly harsh on my skin while my piercing has healed. So I wanted to recommend this because I know there are a lot of people that are getting facial piercings lately, and so this is something that you can definitely use without having to worry about irritation, especially if you're trying to take off makeup at the end of your day. And then when you get up in the morning, you can easily wash your face. If you moisturize after both times, you can. I haven't had to. I've been able to get away with just a hydrating facial mist if I don't want to go through the process of moisturizing, and then at night I will go on and apply my cream, and it's just been wonderful. Right, lastly, let's talk about some of the things that I'm watching, because you know, everybody, like, we have these conversations of like, what are you watching on TV? What are you watching on Netflix? What are you watching on Hulu? What are you watching on YouTube? So I'm going to share some of my favorites that I've really enjoyed lately. So if you have Netflix, a series that my husband and I are enjoying immensely right now is Designated Survivor. And I know that we're kind of late to the party with that show, but it is really good. You have to suspend reality because if you haven't been familiar with that show, Kiefer Sutherland is basically playing the president of the United States. But the reason that he gets to the presidency is because he is chosen as the designated survivor during a State of the Union address. It's one of the things that the American government does to make sure the government is preserved if we ever have a tragedy. And so the very first episode of that show, Congress is blown up, the president, the vice president, the cabinet, Congress is just decimated with this explosion. And so the show is all about how Kiefer Sutherland's character reestablishes democracy and how he's going to work with the very little that he has to basically restructure the American government and keep it kind of going forward into the future. And like I said, you have to suspend reality. It's kind of like watching House of Cards, except Kiefer Sutherland is not as diabolical as Frank Underwood, or, you know, Kevin Spacey's Frank Underwood. He's definitely a nicer guy, but, you know, dealing with kind of all the relationships going on around him, and you know, regardless of your political views, it's just kind of a fun show to watch and just kind of immerse yourself in the drama. Because like I said, you have to suspend reality, because the amount of tragedies that happen in that show, it's like, what is kind of the goal of anarchy maybe? Or like, I don't know, but it's a really good show. And then if you have Hulu, one of the shows that I've really enjoyed watching is Harlots, and it's a British-based TV show about prostitution in the 1700s, 17 or 1800s, I don't remember specifically, but it's basically about a bawd house, and this mother raises her daughters, and Liv Tyler's in it. She plays a countess, and I'm trying to think, there was somebody else who is famous in the show, but that is definitely like the whole dynamics of these bawd houses in London and how they interact and their rivalries and whatnot. It's just a really good show. Definitely, like, if you're into time period dramas and things like that, it's definitely worth watching. It's kind of, you know, it's definitely seedy, but at the same time, it's a really fantastically directed show, and the costumes in it are just beautiful and amazing, and I loved the plot drama. I just actually finished I hope it's not the series finale, but the season finale for that show. And then in terms of YouTube, I've kind of gone down a rabbit hole of like watching other content besides makeup. And one of the ones in particular, I don't know how I ended up on this rabbit hole, but it was watching videos about snakes. I don't know. I have like a fear of snakes. Like I finally got over it because one of my friends in college had a ball python that was just absolutely lovely. And that was the only snake that I've ever held and been comfortable holding. But I don't know, like lately I've just been kind of like, I don't know, exotic pets or whatnot. So there are two channels in particular that I adore watching because I feel like I get over my fear and I learn a lot in the process, and my kids really enjoy it. So the first one is Snake Discovery. It's a couple, and they raise, they have I can't remember if she's an American alligator or maybe she's a crocodile. that they keep as a pet, and they also breed snakes and train pet owners how to have snakes and proper ways to take care of them. And you know, they teach you a lot about reptiles, and they do programs at schools and you know, different things. And so I've really learned a lot. I love their channel. It's super informative. So I will go on and link the Snake Discovery channel below. And then if you like something that's a little bit more comedic, but still learn a lot, you need to check out Chandler's Wildlife. And he's basically, I want to say he's in his 20s, and he works with reptiles of all kinds. Like, he has experience with crocodiles, alligators, he has snakes, he has a king cobra that he names, that's named Kevin, and he'll feed him in videos and teach you all about, you know, taking care of very poisonous snakes and things like that. And he has a deep respect for wildlife. And even though he's kind of erratic in the way that he acts on camera, I feel like it's just a fun way to learn. And at the same time, it's been a fun experience with my kids to watch these videos. And like I said, I just can't tear my eyes away from all these snakes. Like, you know, they work with like black mambas and rattlesnakes and king cobras, and it's just like, but at the same time, like, it's so enjoyable to watch. So I'm going to go on and include those. And then last night I was actually watching a video. I can't remember the high school, but they do all these fantastical like homecoming routines. And one of them, if you're an Avengers fan, because I know we've been watching Avengers Endgame like on repeat because my kids are super into it right now. They did an actual like Avengers themed like homecoming routine, and it is stellar. You need to go check it out. They have like all the cast of characters, like the costumes are fantastic, the way that they have the characters interact in this dance, and I don't know if it's just a dance team or they have like kids from dance studios come in, but it is just over the top, like incredible. Like to go to that high school as a student would be amazing to watch these performances. Not only have they done Avengers, but they also had one that was based around Toy Story, and then they had another one that was based around Harry Potter. So I will go on and link that in the description box below because it was wildly entertaining. And then other than that, like, I've been watching, you know, just different shows and movies, you know, and reading different things. One of the books that I finished recently is Where'd You Go, Bernadette? And I want to say that's going to be a movie. I think Cate Blanchett is going to be the main character in that, which I could totally see her doing that. And then, like, right now I'm reading Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. Is it Delia Owens that wrote that? And then I'm also reading The Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis. We're doing that for small group for church. So I hope that was enjoyable for you. If there's anything that you're interested in learning about further, I'm going to try to do my best to link everything in the description box below. So I hope that you walk away with some fun ideas of things that you might want to incorporate into your daily life. And until next time, take care, and I look forward to seeing you real soon. So adios.